Hey guys, it's me, Missy with Rustic Relics.
It's me, Rodney.
Today we're coming at you with 5 tips on how to run a successful booth. And tip number 1 is going to be stock. So you're going to want to make sure that you have enough stock in your booth that if somebody came in and bought you out today, you'd make rent and a nice check. So it's just vital to keep a booth fully stocked. Empty spaces, empty shelving, stuff like that, people are just going to keep on walking. So keep a well-maintained stocked booth.
That's very important. You want to make sure that you're coming in constantly working your space. Tip number 2 is keeping your stuff clean. Bring it in clean, come by, make sure it stays clean. Keeping your booth clean is very important because somebody doesn't want to go home and have to wash an item, especially a piece of home decor or furniture, because you didn't do it.
Like with furniture, you're going to want to check the drawers and behind the drawers, because it can be really awkward if somebody opens up the drawer and there's somebody else's underwear.
That has happened.
Yeah.
Here.
So absolutely check, in and out, all the way around. Just make sure your items are clean.
Tip number 3
is organization. So if you are bringing in multiple different kinds of styles of items and stuff like that, you're just going to want to make sure that everything is visible. You want it off the floor. It's better if things sell at eye level. You're going to want to display it in a way that it makes the customer want to pick it up and take it home or buy the entire display. Keeping it organized, keeping it open so you can see, so you can actually walk into the booth, is very important. I can't tell you how many booths I've walked past in my entire life where if I couldn't actually step foot into the booth, I just kept on going, and there's no telling what sales could have been missed or what products I missed out on because I couldn't get into it. So organized, open, clean, and well stocked is where we're at so far.
On a last note, I don't personally like to reach down and get stuff, and a lot of other customers don't either. So if it's on the floor, it does hurt your sales. Point number 4, you want to pay attention to what you're selling, what the trends are and what you're selling, right? So if something that you're doing is selling good, have more of those things. If something that you're not selling so well, taper off on getting that stuff and bringing it in, because you're not going to make any money on it, and the customers just aren't interested in buying it at that time. That doesn't mean throw it away or get rid of it, because trends change. That's the great thing about them. And trending in your area, it's important to know what it is that's doing it.
It's always good to just stay on top of that and know what is popular in your area.
And tip number 5 is price points. Missy's got this one.
Okay, so you don't want to price yourself too high where you're not making any sales, and you don't want to price yourself too low to where stock's flying out the door and you can't keep your shelves filled because you're just pricing yourself too low. So you've got to find that medium. And I always tell my vendors that, you can start out a little bit high and you can always come down, but you can't go back up. It just doesn't work that way. Another thing that I tell my vendors is just because you see it on Etsy or eBay, that doesn't mean that you can get that in your area. So if you see something that, on eBay, they've got it posted for $100, you're probably not going to get $100 in it for it in your area. You got to look at your customer base. It's much smaller in a store versus if you're on the web. And again, another thing that I tell them is just because you see it posted for that, it hasn't sold yet. So just know that you can post it for a crazy amount, and you can price it in the store for a crazy amount, but it doesn't mean it'll sell for that way. So just keep in mind but know how much you got in it, know how much you're going to make off of it. I'm like, here we have a store percentage, so you want to price it to fit your, what you can get, what you need to get out of it, but also price it at a point where it will sell.
Because each store is different, so you want to make
yeah.
sure that you link up with the owners or the managers of the store. Ask them how to improve, because more than likely it's going to be in one of these areas that we just discussed.
Absolutely. We have no problems talking to our vendors about what they, what we see, because we are here more than, they are. So we have no problem with letting them know how I would go about changing it, or, just displaying it, that kind of stuff. It's a learning process. I learn it all day long. I can have something on this side of the store and it's just not moving, and I can move it to this side of the store and I can't keep it on the shelf, and I didn't do anything but move the item. And sometimes that's all you need to do is walk into your booth and just rearrange completely without bringing in any new items, because when customers walk by, they can't absorb everything that's in your booth. There's no possible way. So they can come by this week and see it, and then they can come by next week and see items that they didn't even see the first time. Heck, they can even do that on the same shopping trip. They can walk through and then come by and go, I didn't see that. So it's just important to keep your space stocked, clean, organized, keep up with the trends, and know your pricing points. Those are our best tips that we can give you. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Facebook and at rustygrelics.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, y'all.